is another New Black World Order TV Productions. How you doing today, sister? Queen.
Doing great.
Malinda, you doing all right? Thanks for coming back. Oh, so what we talking about today?
How has the media played a role in demonizing the black males, the black females, and the black community?
At large?
At large.
Okay, go in on that.
Well, I have outlined some things. They plant negative images of blacks in the minds of society. Now, I have outlined some things, the negative images they plant in black women and the black men. Now, they say black women are trashy, loose, loud and boisterous, overbearing, headstrong, ghetto fabulous, baby-making machines, high maintenance, aggressive, out of control, wasteful, extravagant, impulsive in spending, recreational spender, speak what my friend called English, we call English, with improper grammar, and where they say the black males are rebellious, out of control, criminals, liars, thieves, deadbeats, womanizers, uneducated, use language, which they chop nails and split verbs, wear baggy and saggy clothes.
Is some of this true, or is all this made up by the media?
I don't agree with any of it.
Well, you may not agree with it.
We have people of all colors that fit this description, not just the black man and the black woman. Right,
but you don't think that the media does this to any other race? They just particularly pick on the black race? I don't see them calling whites rednecks, calling them trailer park trash, and going in there and depicting these negative images of any other culture. But you sure?
I'm positive.
Okay. Yeah, because I want to be fair. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'm
I don't want to do the very same thing to another race. So I want to know, how can you prove this?
Just turn on the television, look at a magazine, go, and anywhere that you go, you'll see it everywhere. All you have to do is turn on the TV, look in books and read it, magazines, literature, the media. Just.
Okay, so how do you explain, or how do you say that the media is benefiting by this? How do they benefit by doing this?
Well, they benefit by keeping us on the bottom, at the bottom of the totem poles. Even in entertainment, most blacks, they're given, you know the roles they're given, coonery and buffoonery and buck dancing. Those are the roles that depicts negative stereotypes of black people.
And this sells movie tickets?
And it sells.
Oh, okay.
You don't see them giving us a lot of positive roles, and I mean, they don't win too many Grammys, Emmys, Oscars.
Okay, even if they do get the role.
Even if they do get what you would call a pretty good movie, they're not even nominated. Okay,
so what's preventing blacks from creating their own media? What's preventing blacks from creating their own Blackwood, such as Hollywood?
That's what is in the back of my mind.
And what's stopping blacks from creating an organization where they could nominate their own people?
That's what I've always wondered. I've always wondered, with the money that they have at large, why don't they pool their resources and have their own Grammy, Oscar, or whatever, name it something else?
Right, because if we continue to just say that and don't do, then people are going to outright call us crybabies.
That's right.
Don't you think so?
And they're going to always continue to give them coonery, buffoonery, and buck dancing roles in Hollywood.
Right, so you get what you get.
That's right.
If you don't participate to change.
Right, and they also say that we are the ones that drink a lot of alcohol, do drugs, gambling, you know. Blacks, they pick those are the roles they're given in Hollywood too, these same things that I outlined just now.
Right, I disagree with all blacks drinking, because I don't drink.
That's right.
But when I did drink, I was an asshole.
I can understand that. Yeah, so that negative depiction and stereotype of black people is what caused that toxic relationships with black males and black women, that imbalance. Okay. And
anything else you want to talk about in regards to that before we switch up to the, all right, before we switch up to the,
yeah, I would like to,
Mr. Dylan Roof, I think that's his name.
Yes. I mean, I don't know if you heard, but after he murdered those 9 people at the church, they took him off for a Burger King meal. Now, who do you know that's black?
You can stop the patrol wagon and stop at Burger King and
stop at Burger King to feed him. Now, if he was black, he would have got a trip straight to the jail. They got 3 hots in the cot.
No, I think he would have been shot.
He might have been shot there and gunned down. That's right.
I think if a black guy go in a white church and kills 4 grandmamas.
Yes, he would have been.
Yeah.
And then that's another thing I want to talk about, the weapons that the police officer carry. The batons, that's a lethal weapon right there. Bad self, the gun, the pepper spray, the meta flashlight is a weapon on its own. I don't know if anyone else
it's a mag light.
One.
Mag light flashlight.
That's right. Then they handcuff you down to do. They carry 2 hollow points, extra clips, extra clips on the side, and they have some of them have semi-automatic pistols or 40 caliber pistols, Smith and Wesson, what they call Smith and Wesson 9mm. I was doing the research on some of the weapons that the police officer carry.
Yeah, that's Glock.
So basically, if that was a black man had gone into a white church, he would have got a taste of all of that.
Oh yeah.
All of that.
I do believe that.
That's right. He would have been beaten to a pulp or murdered or killed right there. Right.
Right. So with Mr. Dalai Roof, why do you think that they did not treat him in such a way? Is that white privilege? White
skin privilege. In America and everywhere, really. Not just America, but everywhere.
A white criminal deserves to make it to court. He deserves to be protected against those who would extract justice as family members against him, so he must be protected.
That's what they said, and and also they're fighting there with that Confederate flag. And you notice he had the flag on most of his clothes. He wrote down the numbers, 13, and all those hate symbols. They had pictures of him on Facebook or YouTube. Right. Basically, they support what he did. That's what I'm saying. If you want to take a man out to eat dinner,
I thought they took the flag. I thought years ago they took the flag down from on top of the state dome.
No, they're still fighting that now.
No, they did move it. It's been taken off the dome and was been placed across the street on the flagpole.
On the flagpole, that's what I'm talking about.
But they took it off of the dome. So
now we're fighting to take it off license plates.
Take it off license plates and all of that.
And I've seen a lot of the...
But why?
Big whites with the...
Don't you think that some people in America who are not acting violent with that flag has a right to have that flag?
I think that flag depicts racism, hatred, slavery. It is a constant reminder of slavery and oppression for blacks. Okay. I mean, if they want to put a flag up, why not put up the red, black, and the green? But that's not a national. I understand.
Didn't they treat us the same way under the American flag?
The same way. It also upheld slavery.
I'm trying to figure out what's up with us.
I don't know.
Why we accept the other flag and reject the other flag?
I don't accept neither one of them.
Okay.
I don't accept neither one of them, and I think they need to get rid of both of them as far as I'm concerned.
That's going to be a hard thing to do.
Oh, I know that. Because both of them really depicts the same thing, that the Confederate flag and the red, white, and blue, because under both of them, slavery existed for almost 500 years in oppression for blacks in America.
Did blacks play a part in the enslavement of their own people, or was it just a total white movement?
Was it this? Well, in Africa, if you're talking about in Africa, where they say the Africans enslaved their own people, but it was only to work off of debt.
You sure?
And after you worked off that debt,
was the Moors indebted to somebody?
The Moors also, they played a role in helping enslave Africans.
You know, Dolo, the king of the Moors, don't bring that up. But he needs to bring up that the Moors helped rent us out like lawn chairs.
Well, yeah, he did, but I think that he was deceived. He was deceived.
You think the Moors was deceived when they did that?
When they told the Africans that played a role in slavery that we were going to take them and we're going to let them work for 7-year indentured service. We're going to take them and let them work for 7 years or whatever and come back. You know, they were deceived. The ones that did play a role in it, I think that they were deceived. Okay.
Did the Muslims ever drive the European out of North Africa?
Yes, they did.
Okay. So if he was out of North Africa before the transatlantic slave trade, then how was the Moors deceived?
If he was out of Africa, you said?
Yeah. How was if the Moors was in control?
You know, I understand. I do my research.
How did he get slaves out of Africa while the Moors was in control of North Africa? unless the Moors let them into North Africa.
Well, that's what happened.
Right? So the white man is not all to blame. We played a part in our own demise, and we have to accept that.
In the demise of, I can understand what you're saying.
Right.
But they perpetuated that slavery for almost 500 years.
Right.
As a matter of fact, slavery never ended. Like I said, it's only been reinvented and transformed.
I agree with you on that. I agree with you on that 100%. But you also have to add in the fact that the Islamic enslavement of our people lasted 1,200 years before this 500 years, which brings us to a grand total of 1,600 to 1,700
yes, I did
years.
The research, and then they did have it. If you look at the walls in Africa, see the pictures on the walls in Africa, it tells the story. Right.
So that's my point. Why we, you know, we can't indict the white man as all of the problem when we have internal problems that we need to address.
And I also want to say something, since we on that subject of who had a hand in slavery. It wasn't, like you said, just the Europeans, it was the Jews, it was the French, the Spaniards. It was at least 8 other cultures that helped perpetuate slavery.
Yeah, but those are outsiders.
Yeah, but the Europeans
outsiders,
are the one that took the ball and ran with it. They, you know.
Right, but the language called Swahili.
Right.
Is that a mixture of Wolof and Arabic?
I don't know exactly what is a mixture of.
Yes, it is. And that language was created by African Muslims to help extract Africans out of Africa to sell into the Islamic slave trade.
Well, I understand, and I realized they did use some African because the Europeans couldn't catch the Africans when they didn't have the speed or the strength.
Right.
So they had to have the weapons. They had to have 8 and 10 on one because they did not have the strength.
Because you remember that.
They did not have the speed.
Right. You remember that story in the Bible where Jesus talked about how you take a strong man's house.
Right.
You got to first tie him up. So were we already tied up with some bullshit before the European came?
Were we already tied up?
Yeah, we was already tied up. I think
we had some battles, I guess, within other African tribes.
And wouldn't that pose a distraction?
Would it?
Like if we was internally fighting each other.
Yes, if we were internally fighting and others came in, they would help. Yeah,
right.
I understand. Divide and conquer.
Right. So if we didn't learn nothing from that back then, and history is repeating itself today, because as we speak, we're being attacked internally and
That's right.
So did we learn anything?
It doesn't seem like it. If putting it that way, it doesn't seem like they have done a good job dividing and conquering us.
Because the impact of the American slave trade seemed to have distracted us from notations in history that something was going on before they got us. And so when the Muslims came to teach us, they somehow kept that a secret and only wanted to point out slavery from the Christians. And they did not want to point out that the Muslims played an intricate part in the destruction of Africa.
They played a role, and I read that.
Right.
You know, I told
you was at the debate when I debated the Muslim email.
They played a role.
Right. So now,
and we can't deny it, like you said.
Right. So now, where do we go from here as it relates to security in the church? What are some of the suggestions that you would offer to church people to protect themselves from incidents such as what happened in Charleston, South Carolina? Does the church need to arm itself?
Well, they already have one minister in the news. He has a gun, and his deacons, they're also prepared. He said if someone come in his church, he's a white preacher. He said if someone come in his church, they're going to be in trouble. Okay. They coming there.
Right. So he should. Not only should you have that, but you need to have
well, the Nation of Islam do a pat down when you come and they're a search, right? When you come in their temple, I said the church may have to go.
They may have to do searching.
They have to start doing the search.
Right. But if somebody's using a gun, they would have to practice an emergency exit route rehearsals. Right. They need to know which way the people gonna run. You feel me? How they gonna exit the building, and this need to be practiced or rehearsed on a monthly basis, more than likely. You know what I'm saying? Because even though I don't agree with what they believe in, I don't think that it's right for people to walk in that church and shoot those people.
Shoot them down. And also in Midlothian, Virginia, like we said,
and some of my brothers and sisters are attending churches.
That's right.
Yeah. So you know, it's a big issue.
I don't think we would have had the same result had he been black. That's what I'm saying. You know, the ending. You know, he wouldn't have gone out for a meal and celebrating with the police officer for a victory for just murdering 9 people. I don't think he would have had that same.
So that means whoever that officer was, he kind of endorsed what he did.
Where it was more than one, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. That's a shame.
That's a crime. It's a shame, and that's disrespect for the black community.
Okay. I remember. Now I remember what I wanted to do. Are you still making the jury?
Yes, I am.
Okay. Again, I was trying to get people to how to contact you.
Okay.
You know, how could they get some of your jury that you make? How could they attend some of the classes that you do?
I'm going to leave a flyer with you or give you, you know, the information because I go everywhere and do like workshops, not just one, you know.
Okay, that's cool because I know you have a lot to offer, and I wanted to actually plug people into, you know, coming to your classes, how they could purchase some of your jury.
And I did a jury making class also.
Yeah, I seen some of your jury. If they look at the jury that you had on before, I think it was on the first video you did. It was a nice piece that you did with the, you know, the blue pieces on it. That was really nice.
Yeah.
So, is there anything else you want to talk about before?
Yes, I did. We were talking about the black males and black females, and I was talking about their noble wife or virtuous woman, that Proverbs 31 woman. That's what most men desire.
You think most men desire a noble woman?
Yes, I do. And
do most men know what to do with a noble woman?
That's the question.
Yeah.
And the other day you were talking about, I was talking about submissiveness, and you said it. So it has to be bought. I said no, it has to be earned, just like respect and anything. It has to be earned.
Yeah, because it appeared to me, you know, that a lot of women, not all of them, maybe trying to condition men to buy their cooperation.
Yeah, love can't be bought. Submission can't be bought. You know, and submission can't be beaten into the woman either. Most men think that if they manhandle the woman, that, you know, she will submit. If I beat her, she will submit. Trust either can't be purchased. Any of that stuff.
None of that stuff.
Love, respect.
Right. I think it reduces the value of what it is once you put it on a commodity level.
Right.
I think so. But it seems to be working for some people.
Yes, it works for a lot of people.
Yeah.
To rule the house with the iron fist.
Because when you got $1 billion or $1 million, a lot of people become submissive.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of people become cooperative.
Yes.
And the funny thing about it, everybody loves a star when they're on top.
When they're on top.
But don't nobody like to come around when the star starts to drop.
Yeah, don't nobody like the bottom.
Right, nobody likes the bottom.
That's right.
So a noble woman would be a loyal woman. So she probably would be with you broke or rich.
That's right.
But I think she would prefer you to have some money.
Yeah. Well, anybody who wanted somebody for the money, they was just married to the money anyway.
Right, it's a service.
That's right.
It's called sex trade. Yeah, that's what they call it.
Yeah. So, but like I said, a woman doesn't have to be micromanaged like on a job or something. They know what to do at home. They know their role. Most men are concerned with, I want a woman that knows her role. The black woman don't know what her role is.
Okay, I'm gonna switch it up. I'm gonna switch this up a moment. If all men want a noble woman, what's up with Dr. UMAR Johnson?
I don't know.
Him and the conscious stripper. Is a conscious stripper a noble woman? Is that the type of woman a king should have?
I don't know. I hadn't heard anything else like that about Dr. Johnson. Is he married or?
You don't want, no, he's single.
Oh yeah. Hey.
But you didn't hear. Okay.
Okay.
But it appears that there were. I'm pretty sure there were plenty of women such as you that's interested in Dr. UMAR, but he said he was celibate.
Right.
Right. But then
there's nothing wrong with that.
But then he gets caught in this scandal with the stripper girl.
Wow.
You didn't hear about it?
No, I haven't heard anything about it.
It's all over the internet.
Celibate, though.
Right, it ain't none, but she's not celibate. She's kind of selling a bit.
She's selling a lot of
because if she's a stripper, she's into selling sex.
Right.
And so, is that a noble woman?
No,
I'm not putting her down. I'm not putting her down.
Right.
I'm just saying, as looking at what you said, that most men are looking for a noble woman.
Right.
This woman put him on blast.
Right.
Right, she got the videos, she put the...
She has the proof.
The texts where he texted her after 12 o'clock at night on 3 different occasions.
Wow.
Right?
Wow.
And we know that after 12 o'clock, that's the booty call.
Is that what y'all call it?
Hey, that's what everybody call it.
After 12 o'clock, after 10 o'clock.
Right, if a man can't call you, you know, at a reasonable time after night, you know what that is. You're old enough to know what that is.
Right. But I don't allow men to disrespect me like that.
So you see that as disrespect?
I do.
Okay.
I do.
So it's still, hey,
if you're
UMAR?
just calling just for that purpose,
right.
Yes.
Well, he said he wasn't interested in marrying her. He said he wasn't interested in taking her seriously. Then what does that mean?
See, a woman, like I say, have to know their value, know their worth, know what she's worth.
Hey, look, I'm a nationalist. I'm a revolutionary.
Right, and I
could care less about who he's sleeping with.
Right, and
but
me either.
When people want to invest in you,
right,
or people want to make $1 million donations, because as soon as the girl put this out, a private NFL donor that was going to donate $1 million to help him get St. Paul colleges withdrew the donation.
Wow.
Right.
And she actually had physical evidence.
Right. But most of the people that don't care about who he's sleeping with, they don't have $1 million to donate. So it does make sense.
It impacted.
Right? See, if I had $1 million to give him, I would still give it to him, regardless if he was sleeping with the chick or not. You feel me?
And you know, sometimes they plot to do things like that just when you're on the verge of getting a decent program.
Well, they try to say that she was sent by the FBI, but I don't believe that. He pursued her.
They would plot.
I know they will. But my point is, if you can't handle a regular street chick coming with slickery,
right?
How could you handle the CIA chick they sent at you?
That's right.
Because she coming
with HIV.
The CIA sent chick is coming with HIV.
Yeah.
Or she gonna slit your goddamn throat while you sleep after you done bust that junk and you went to sleep. Or they got a plant down in South America. You heard about it where they grind it up in a dust and they blow it in your face.
Wow.
And you do whatever they ask you to do.
Wow, magic portion.
Yeah, it's a plant. And like say if somebody is a millionaire, you could blow this in their face and make them go to the ATM and they'll unload all their money.
Wow.
And when the effect wear off, they won't realize what hit them. So my point is, the CIA chick could have came in there, blowed the dust in his face, and made him make the silliest videos, throwing this whole thing down the drain. So,
wow.
You know, Polite made a good point. Polite made a good point. He said that Dr. UMAR says that Frederick Douglass and Marcus Garvey, those ancestors, are reincarnated in him to help him do his mission. And so, Polite made a good point. How did a booty beat the ancestors in you?
Wow.
And what type of men do you have around you that agree with that? Because if I was around them, I'd be like, look, B, you can't do that. That's not going to be a good look right now.
Right.
We trying to get to school.
I guess it wasn't enough conscious women around him, or he couldn't find a conscious woman.
No, it was plenty. Because I know a sister named, yeah, I'm going to call her name out. And this sister used to help me with my events. But you know, I use profanity sometimes. You know, I'm a little rough around the edges.
Right.
I still got to get a couple chips off this block.
But I understand you.
She told me that I wasn't on Dr. Umar's level. That I wasn't even a leader, that I was so street nigga. But I turned that ass down. She offered that ass to me 3 different times and I turned that ass down. You know why? Because I'm supposed to be like a spiritual father to her or something.
Yeah, everything that glitter isn't
You
gold.
ain't supposed to sleep with everything. Right? Some things are sent to you for you to help them, for you to mentor to them.
Right.
And you got to be able to tell the difference.
That's right.
Now, what if some other sisters that won't gonna tell on Dr. Umar that wanted to give him some booty? They wasn't even told on him. But he played the celebrity role with them. And then gave it up. Then gave it up to the country.
To a lot of decent women.
Them women that would donate $50 here, $75 here and that. So how do they feel now? Being overlooked. Because they would have been perfectly fine with the booty calls. And they wouldn't even blow them up like that.
I don't know if a woman could be fine with a one-night stand
Trust
or
me.
being a booty call.
Trust. There are plenty women out here. There are plenty women out here that settles for the side chick. Okay, now if you was the one that could settle for being a side chick, what would stop you from settling for being the main booty call chick?
Well, I'm saying the problem is when you settle for it, you get what you get, but when you are selective, you get what you want. But when you settle for it, you get whatever.
Right. That's all I'm saying.
See, my thing is I am selective.
Okay.
And I refuse to settle for it. You did that when you didn't know better.
Right. But
when you know better, you do better.
Right. But my point is that brothers such as Dr. Umar and other brothers, they got to be a little more conscious of people that come around them.
That's right.
You feel me? Everybody that's black ain't for you.
That's right. Right.
Yeah, because when we talk this black stuff, this black power stuff, sometimes we fall so in love with our people that we let our guards down and they fuck us up.
That's right, the crabs in the barrel mentality. Right.
I love you and hate you.
Mentality.
I love you and hate you. You feel me? Not saying that I'm hateful, but I got my eyes open. You feel me? I got my eyes open.
But some people they scrutinize other people. They have a microscope and they wait for you to fall. They wait for you to slip. They wait for your demise. They want to see
I go through this
you fall.
Listen, I go through this every day in Richmond.
That's your own.
You know, we are our own worst enemies. You feel me? I got people, as of course y'all know, running around telling lies on me.
Right.
Look where we at. See this building right here across the street there? That's the Fugitive Task Force building, where they look for wanted criminals. I got blacks running around telling people I'm on the run from the what? The FBI.
Wow.
And I'm out here talking this black power shit right in front of the damn building.
Right in front of the building.
And the FBI can't see me. Y'all better come buy this cloaking device I got. I'm the motherfucking invisible man. Now, then I got people listening to this shit. I got arrested for this, I got arrested for that. It don't take for 30 days. It don't take for 30 days for your picture to come out in the what? In the gotcha paper.
Right.
You see me in there?
Right. No, I haven't. Never.
All right.
My man was in there immediately.
Yeah.
My man said his was in there immediately. Well, who am I? Maybe I'm the Illuminati. I can get around getting mine in the paper.
Shit, I was in the Illuminati too.
Oh shit, he was in the Illuminati. And they still put his in there.
Wow.
I must be in the upper room Illuminati.
Yeah.
I'm that damn powerful, really. And so we are our own worst enemies. We do it to each other.
We can be.
Some
on the
of the
job,
things,
in society,
right.
We can be, but see that because they don't know better.
Oh no.
You know better, you do better. Some of them, they don't know better.
See, I used to be that in love with my people. They know better.
I'm in love with our people.
No, they know better. They know better. See, I took my people out my heart and put them in my eyes. I look at them from a distance.
Okay.
If you don't get them out your heart, they gonna fuck your heart up.
Yeah. I understand that.
Who helped destroy Elijah Muhammad? Was it white people?
The FBI, CIA. Some say they don't, but I doubt that.
They was extracting the information from.
I mean, listen what I'm saying now. You can't believe. You cannot believe.
The gentleman that they used to do that, he was a tool.
Sultan Muhammad was one of the first rebels against Elijah Muhammad. This was in the early 1930s. Was the FBI in existence then?
I don't know.
Oh, let's see. They may
have been under a different name.
What you got to realize,
might not have been FBI, but they were under a different name.
Okay. What you got to realize, and what a lot of us got to realize, is that some of us volunteer to do this shit.
Okay.
We not being paid to undermine. A lot of us do this to each other and not being paid for it. Some of the things that we do to our own people, the FBI and the CIA will send you a check for the shit. But we do it for what? For free. Play back on some of the things that your people done did wrong to you. You actually think that the FBI had a case on you and sent them people to you?
A lie.
You think the FBI sent them to do that to you?
Do I think? No.
Right. We volunteer to do this stuff.
Right.
And so we got to stop, because if our people keep doing this for another 100 years, when How did you equate white people in that?
We're struggling to put the pieces of the puzzle together, and at this rate, we will never get the pieces put in the puzzle.
No, I got the puzzle. Some of us are just fucked up. Because remember,
well,
we
Jesus
help people.
said either you for me or you against me.
So was the Moors brainwashed, or did they have knowledge of self?
They had knowledge of self.
And they fucked us around with knowledge of self?
They had knowledge of self.
Then,
well, they were unaware of, I don't know, they had knowledge of self, but that devil slick now. That devil, you have to be aware of his
I thought the Moors was the devil.
No, I don't think so.
Who is Baal?
Who is Baal?
Is Baal the devil?
If you want to call him that.
Okay. Well, what's the two words that Moors put behind their name? Bay or what? Or what? Or L, right? Now say it together. Yeah. Bay and L. Say it fast.
Baal.
Baal. So the devil made them do what now? See, we got to stop blaming this goddamn devil.
Right.
You know, like I said before.
I have a question since we on the subject of the devil.
That's right.
Let's ask my friend right here.
Well, I don't know if he wants to talk about that right now. You feel me? But we, just like I said before, when I went to Narcotics Anonymous, I went there with excuses.
Right, I understand.
You know, my girlfriend get on my nerves. That's why I was getting high. Is that true?
That's an excuse, just like you said.
That's an excuse. So how do we make excuses for our people that participated in our demise while having knowledge of self and participating in our demise without knowledge of self?
Right.
Because if it's the lack of knowledge of self that makes them do that, then why did they do it when they had knowledge of self?
But like I said before, now the devil has tactics that some people are not aware of their tactics. That's what I'm saying. We have to be aware of his devices and his tactics.
Who is this devil that you speak of? Who is this devil?
The devil is the one that
is the white man the devil? Is he this devil?
As far as I'm concerned, this is just me. As far as I'm concerned, anyone that had a hand in slavery, all of those cultures that came together, all of those Europeans that came together as a group.
Was it just Europeans though?
I said all of them that came together as a group that had a hand in slavery is the devil.
Okay.
All of them.
Who educated the Europeans? Who gave Europeans education? Well,
the black man.
The who?
The blacks, the Moors, the white, the black man, the Africans.
So, if he didn't know how to read nautical, if he didn't know how to read nautical coordinates, how could he even get a ship to sail somewhere? So whoever taught him that aided and abetted in our demise.
Okay, I see what you're saying.
And you say that was who?
They took that and ran with it.
It was the Moors.
Once they taught them how to read, once they civilized
them. Who taught Pythagoras?
I don't know. Who taught them?
Huh?
Who taught them?
That's some good research you should go do.
Okay.
And then next time I see you, you tell me who taught Pythagoras.
Well, who taught all of them? Really, the Africans taught all of them because when they went to Timbuktu, they raided the libraries and took.
So why would you teach somebody? Why would you teach somebody?
That they have, it was knowledge that they plagiarized. They stolen knowledge. The books, all the inventions and everything that they had.
Did they steal all of it, or some was shared with us?
Some of the knowledge was shared with them, but a lot of them they stole books from Timbuktu. They had the largest library in the world.
Okay.
So a lot of that knowledge was stolen, shared, and
you're talking about the museum?
All of the knowledge that
the museum.
Right.
What Ptolemy built.
Right.
Right. And they stole all that.
It was stolen. Some of it was taught to them. Some of it was, like I said, knowledge was plagiarized, and they got credit for it. Right.
Right. And we didn't know what hit us, did we? No, or did some of us know what was going to hit us?
I think the majority of them probably didn't know what hit them. Didn't know what hit them.
Okay. So what would be the lesson learned from that?
The same thing with
Be careful who you shed light to.
That's right. The same thing when I was looking up some information on Hannibal.
On Hannibal?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And how they took Africa, you know, and gave him his name, and we still proudly say we are African American.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the word African, or we just use the word African to locate a geographical location. That's it. We understand that there was a Roman general by the name of Africanus who imposed that name on that geographical location.
Geographical area.
That's it. That's all I use.
They get the name Africa.
Right, right.
It was named after him after they had doing the Punic Wars.
Colonization.
When he conquered him, Hannibal, in the war, and they gave that whole geographical location the name Africa.
So did some Africans help him? Sure.
Oh no, I didn't see that.
Every time we look through the eras of history, we are always participating in our own demise.
On our own demise.
That's why I can't blame white people totally for this.
Yeah, I'm saying that I'm not blaming them totally. I'm blaming everybody that had a hand in it together, collectively.
Right, and that's what.
And everybody that had a hand in our demise, everybody who had a hand in our oppression, all those other cultures that helped them during slavery, and those cultures still help them in a way today to keep us oppressed.
Right.
And they even have people coming there from what they call illegal immigrants. We're still on the bottom. Right,
because of immigration. New immigrants. That's why we're on the bottom.
I'm talking about from the Asians and to the, if y'all want to say the Mexicans and whoever else that come over here, and people from India too, because those are the people from over there, Iraq, Iran, that come and open up all these stores, Pakistan, and we don't have stores.
But they don't force us to buy from them.
No, they don't. But if you're the only store around and we don't have any, where else would you buy?
So when will Farrakhan speak out against the foreign Muslim brothers coming here to take control of our economics in our neighborhood? Because if they control all the stores in our neighborhood, then they actually control the what? The economics. Right. And so if they are brothers to Farrakhan, or the Muslims in the Nation of Islam, or the Moors are brothers to those Muslims, isn't it somewhere in the Quran where it says that they should share with the people?
They should.
Do they though?
No, they don't. They share with their own.
Didn't that Prophet Muhammad say, if you go hunting, ask your neighbor, do they want something to eat?
Wow. But do they?
They don't ask us.
No, they don't.
But we are sharing our money with them.
That's right. And they're sharing their money with their own.
So why do we think that's a bad thing to do?
Why do we think that's a bad? I mean, if we could just get the mind set to support our own, whether it's a hot dog stand or whatever it is, a convenience store or a vendor on the street or whatever, we need to learn how to support our own and spend money on our own.
That would have to be taught in the household.
Yes.
That would have to be led by the mother and father when they take the kids out and go shopping.
See, we are consumers, though. We don't manufacture anything. We're not producers. We are mostly consumers. Like I said, we do a lot of impulsive and recreational spending.
Well, there are some of us that are making our own products. Well, there are some of us out here that are making things.
But we're not being supported on the levels that they are being supported on and funded on. Right.
Because we don't help each other with the marketing.
Right.
We don't help each other with advertising. We don't help each other with word of mouth. In a positive way, but we do it in a negative way.
Yeah, don't buy from that nigga.
Yeah, don't buy from that nigga. That nigga stole my bicycle.
He's selling some, ain't even know he was.
We have to wake up, though. We have to wake up as a people. We have to wake up. We do. In order to finish this, putting this piece of the puzzle together.
Right.
To complete this puzzle of life.
Right. So, before we go, what is it that you would like to add on to this conversation? What would you like to say as your closing remarks? My closing remarks is black man and black woman come together. All this disunity, this harmony, discord, we don't need it. We need one another, and we need to uplift one another. We need to support one another. We need to love one another unconditionally. Right. Then we would have to understand race first. It can't be God first. It's got to be race first.
Right.
It can't be religion first. It's got to be race first. Because if you put your religion first, your religion may tell you to hell with your race. Your God might tell you to hell with your race. Because when I read the Bible, all the African nations and God is beefing.
Oh, wow.
Oh, yeah, it's true.
That's an interesting way of looking at it from your view.
Yes, I mean, I just don't understand it.
Well, you're talking about mysticism, huh?
Well, it's not a mystery to me. It's not.
That's not what it means, bro.
Yeah, you know, when you read the burden of the Ethiopian.
Right.
You ever read that in the Bible? You ever read the burden of Egypt?
Yes.
Right.
I've read
the God of the Bible has animosity with African nations.
I see there's a lot of conflict and discord. Right. And that's why Jesus is constantly, you know, at war with certain people in the Bible. Yeah, I understand that. That's why they put him to death.
I wonder, was Jesus an Israelite?
Is he an Israelite?
Right.
Oh man.
Because a lot of stuff he was doing, the Israelites seemed to have problems with it.
Really?
So was he practicing Israelite culture?
Well, that's interesting. From their point of view.
I mean, everything he did, they had a problem with it, and they had a law to show that he was contradicting it.
Wow. I haven't been.
I don't know what them Egyptians taught him.
Israelite that, other than in the debate, when you had the debate with the Israelite, that's the first time I've ever really been in the present in the company of them to communicate with them like that.
And since then, you know, it's quite many different groups of Israelites.
Oh God, yes, there's a lot of different groups of it. I've seen that on.
All of them got the same book. But they're broken up in 1,000 different pieces.
Just like the religion out here. What we have, over 666 denominations.
Something got to be done with religion.
Yeah, and then all of them. I mean, if there's one God, one way, one destiny, one belief, how come there's so many different denominations? They can't even have unity among themselves as being what they call a Christian
because
or whatever. They don't have no peace,
that's
unity,
the point
and love.
What? That's the point of religion, brother said. To divide.
And that's the common denominator of mysticism in the first place. If you confuse the people, you master the whole demise of the nation.
Okay.
You master the whole demise of the nation. You say if you confuse the people.
Yeah, brother said if you confuse, right.
Because they can't see the light. See, if you put blindfolds on somebody, they can't see. They can't see what's real. If you put them in the matrix, it's just like they're just playing a video game, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, even when they dream.
Okay.
All right, brother. The deep knowledge. All right.
Brother don't want to be on the camera.
Not yet.
We supposed to be doing a piece together.
Yeah, y'all gonna do a piece together. Brother got a lot to share. He got a whole lot to share.
Very intelligent.
Yeah, very intelligent young man. You know, whenever you make suggestions for him to do things, he go and do it.
Young men, black women, young black women, older. Yeah, we need more conscious people.
A lot of people gonna hate me when I do that.
Oh, a lot of people gonna love you though too. Remember that.
For having the courage and the strength to tell the truth or either state your
right. The right people are gonna love you, and the wrong people gonna hate you.
That's right.
So who gives a fuck about the wrong people in their life?
Who gives a fuck?
You know what I'm saying? This is another New Black World Order TV Productions, Black Power, and we out.
We're out, unapologetically black.
Right, remember.
365, 24/7, love being black.
And remember, don't fall so in love with your people that you close your eyes and let them fuck you up. You heard?
All right.
The Honorable Marcus Garvey told us, I am not interested in taking all black people back to Africa.
All right.
Because some blacks won't be no good in America, neither would they be any good
All right, I
in
read
Africa.
That quote.
Yeah.
That's right.
All right, so you got to remember that. It was blacks inside the Black Star Line ship breaking the parts in the engine room. Remember, wasn't no white people on the ship. Right? Remember the blacks that testified against Marcus Garvey. Right? Right?
Deep.
Yeah, you got to think about that. You got to think about that. Think about the lies that blacks tell on me. Ain't no white people walking around lying on me. You got to remember that.
Right.
Black power.
Black power.